Meow, Huples cat. Welcome to Tuesday, my first full day on Crotch Lake. So far things are not going as planned. I've just sent Kitty home. She pulled her back running 2 days before this trip and then did a few things yesterday I didn't want her to do in terms of moving stuff and inflating kayaks. So I sent Kitty home to bed rest herself for today and tomorrow, and hopefully she can book a massage appointment. It's going to be hard, but hopefully she can. And I told her to figure out whether it is her lower back or a sciatic nerve, and she's going to do all that good stuff and get healthy so we can enjoy these adventures together. But now this is a solo trip. I have to do things a lot differently. I have to be a lot more careful because I'm on my own. I'll just show you the camp, put up some tarps because it is going to rain on Wednesday. That was Kitty's tent. She didn't get much sleep, poor thing. Our chairs, and over there is me because I snore. I'll show you the kayaks and the falls. There's the kayaks. Our seagulls are working well after a few years. What I've been doing after every trip, and I won't have to do it again, is I've been sanding down these, the edges of this bar. So this actually pops in and out now very easily. It's really, really tough when you buy one of these. I recommend sanding them down almost immediately so they can pop in and out. Otherwise, they're great little kayaks. And I'll be going out very shortly to see if I can get to a new lake I've never been to. That's my fridge. Sidearm Falls, you have to portage around that. The portage starts just over there and lasts over half a kilometre on a very up and downy road. It's really tough. The only way to cheat it is to come into there, which is campsite 3, or come into the side of campsite 4 and track through the forest down to here. I've done both ways. Campsite 3 is way easier access, but it's usually occupied. It's the best campsite and we couldn't get it, so that's why we're in 4. Then you have a short but glorious paddle down to Whitefish Rapids and a very slidey, steep way out of that, and then a very short portage into Crotch Lake North proper. Kitty bought me some bike shorts, and great for biking. I'm going to try them in the kayak today just for the extra padding, because after about 3 hours my bum gets a bit numb. Breakfast is honey flavoured shreddies with some extra granola on it, and of course my oat milk. This will set me up. Today's adventure, I'm going to kayak and portage from here to there and get into Kings Lake. Well, I'll finish my breakfast, clean up and get going. The other problem with the Seagull is the skeg. It's a nice skeg, goes in easily, but if you're doing any sort of white water, it tends to break. The cheapest replacement cost me $101 Canadian. If you want a replacement, don't bother emailing Seagull, they will ignore you. They're going to charge you something like 175 Canadian dollars to send you this from the States. If you go online and find an Alberta dealer for Seagull, this will cost you 101 with taxes and delivery. Still ridiculous, but you kind of need this. Let's go. So I've completed my first kayak of the day. Come from Sidham Falls to Whitefish Falls. Trust me on this, if you're coming down the Mississippi from Bon Echo direction, what you really want to do is avoid this portage. So it's a quick jaunt up the hill and you hit this car park. This is the main car park you're going to use if you're going to be on North Crotch overnight camping. And this is Whitefish Rapids, which is why I'm doing this small portage. If you're pretty good at whitewater stuff, you could easily go down there. The water's very high. This summer we've had so much rain, historical high amounts of rain. But I don't have the skills for it and I'm too old to learn. You'll notice most everyone is displaying these. When I started using this area of Canada to camp in and kayak, you didn't see anybody really, just maybe fellow trippers. The last 2 years, the council that runs the Crown land here, this is all Crown land, have been very vigilant, and they come to the campsites almost every day, I'm finding, and check who you are, should you be there. Now if there's bad weather and you're on a campsite you're not supposed to be on, but you're legally allowed to be there, they let you stay there. They'll say, oh, they're cancelled, you can stay. So they're actually a good source of information, and they can actually boat you out if you needed to. You'd have to ask. I've been in some dicey situations they've never offered. But I'm fairly sure they're looking at the vehicles as well. To actually access this part of Canada, you have to go through a sign that tells you this belongs to the council. So if you come down here for the day and you park your car and you haven't paid user rates and they spot you, you're going to get fined. If you're overnight, they'll catch you for sure. About a 35-40 metre portage, quite easy, slight uphill out of the water and then down. This is where you're going to get in from a canoe or kayak. Very limited parking here, be aware of that. And the big boat dock's over there for the motorised boats, which for some reason they still allow on lakes like this. It being a weekday, it shouldn't be too bad. Right, I have to go and get my kayak and I'll set off. Don't launch your kayak without being in it. So I drifted in, I retrieved it with the oar. Made my first stop, Skull Island. Canoeing away. So I haven't gone that far, like I say I'm currently on Skull Island. What I'm going to do is head for that promontory and follow that around there. And then go up there and try and get into King's Lake. I don't know about you, but I could do with a bit of a break. This whole section that I've just come through is full of rocks like this and little islands of it. It was really cool and I said hello to the guy there, and every camper I've seen so far said hello. Canadians are friendly. It's basically where I'm heading. Skull Island, of course, is an unofficial campsite. I think at one time or other all of these islands have had people stuck on them, either by capsize or foul wind. The waves on this lake can get up to 2 to 3 feet, and you really don't want to be out in that. So one of the things I'm doing here is orientating my mind to the topography that I'm looking at on the map. So that's an inlet, then I pull out a promontory, bit of an inlet, bit of a promontory. That's probably an island. But I'm going to have a pee and a drink of water. How's this for perfection? Loon. 2 or 3 years ago, me and Kitty camped over there on an island. It was absolutely amazing. When we came back, there was a massive storm. And when we got to this point, I had to land because my red kayak was full of water and it was hailing. Literal hailstones in August. People do camp on these illegally, which probably shouldn't. It's kind of a sensitive environment. Absolutely magnificent. That's where I was on Skull Island. I'm currently on Gull Rock. And I've seen a gull. So if you're coming along the Mississippi River from interior Ontario to go to Ottawa, the Ottawa River, this is a spot you'll come to. This is of course a dam, and there's a safety rope there so you don't go down. Of course we're going to go down. Little fishies. Let's give you an idea of what the storms are like. If you see where these pieces of lumber have ended up, a good metre off the water level. People do seem to like to kill fish even though they're sentient. There you go. I'm going to get in just over there. Carefully, you'll see these all over the spot. This is where an iron ring used to be to help tie off for the lumber industry. Of course, if you're going to murder fish, it's always best to catch them stunned from a waterfall. What I'm going to do is I'm going to head this way and follow the south coast of King's Lake. Well, if you're canoeing or kayaking North Crotch Lake, Ontario, make the effort to get to campsite 16 and then go beyond it to the dam, cross the dam, enter King's Lake. Absolutely gorgeous. So the rapids are just over there, and because I'm going to be battling the current on the way back, I think I'm going to take off now. This is mostly crown land, so you can camp anywhere you like as long as you're respectful. Just gorgeous. It's just so empty. Not a huge lake, but beautiful. Really happy I came. Watching fish jump, watching loons, watching herons flying around. Just a delight. Anyway, I'm going to drink some water, have a laraba, and head back to my campsite. I've no idea how long this took me. One of the problems I have because Kitty's left is I actually don't have a phone or a watch, and I have zero idea what time it is. So looking at the sky, I'm thinking it's noonish, so I need to get back. It'll probably take about 2.5, 3 hours one way. A bit longer on the way back because I'll be tired, and also I'll be battling fairly strong currents. Hope you enjoyed this trip. Get out there, do it. Be safe, be daring, and enjoy what there is to enjoy. Toodles. Well, I made it back. I think it's about maybe 2 or 3 o'clock by the sun. So that would be about a 6-hour kayak, which is about right. That was quite a hike. Feel pretty good. The bike shots helped. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have a little swim and soak my kayak and get some of the mud out. Hopefully the wasp won't get me. I've been stung 4 times so far. It's just under 2 feet long. Enjoying the last of the sun. I will leave it in peace. This has been a Tiny Terrier 2024 production.